All right. Can you hear me? Does that sound like it works? I know you can see this "I'll be right back" face. It looks like it's working. All right. Da-da-da-da. All right, folks, let's see how this works. I am hoping we are solid and good to go in this stream. I'll tell you, streaming technology, I want to point the finger. I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I'm trying. As long as we don't lag out like midstream, I'm good. I'm good. It's fine. We can always go back to that face, you know, that this "I'll be right back" face that we had. But anyway, today I'm excited to do deal analysis. But first things first, I want to talk about the market. What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome. Folks, if you have not yet watched my video on the Federal Reserve, I'll pull up the link for it right now. If you have not yet watched that, I think anybody interested in really real estate investing should watch all of that. And not only should you watch it, but I have no audio in super. Wait, really? Does anybody else have an audio off? You're in the supervisor's office. Oh no. Okay, so you're making me nervous. You really want to watch that video, mostly because I want you to understand it. And what I mean by that is when I talk about why inflation is good for real estate and how movements in the Fed and how them introducing confidence is good for real estate, it's important for you to sort of build that into, in my opinion, your projections as far as how you want to invest. See, my thing is, and why I like this course so much is I want to be able to tell you, folks, it like SHIT is hitting the fan, like get out, sell, don't buy right now. Because that is exactly what I was doing in the middle of 2018 because the market ended up tanking. But right now, I'm optimistic, especially with that Fed video. Definitely watch it. I think, all the details are in there. But if you ever have any questions, always feel free to post that on our Discord, general chat. We go back and forth kind of about the market anyway. Interest rates actually surprisingly went down a little bit, which I was very, the LAX, oh my gosh. It was very actually surprised that rates went down. I thought they were going to go up a little bit because what the Fed said was a little contrary to what the market was expecting. See, the way that works is like Fed rates could actually go down, but if the market has a different expectation, mortgage rates could actually go up. All right. So what we're going to do though is we're going to jump right into deal analysis. It doesn't look like we have. We got a few here. We got good ones. All right. So okay, JD, we're starting with JD, my man. He's always, I love this guy. Very, very knowledgeable too. Cigarette smell is a great wedge potential. It will turn many people off, but with a little elbow grease and new paint goes away easily. Just be sure to scrub every surface since the tar buildup acts like kitchen grease. Honestly, if you could post us some recommendations on what products you recommend for that, please do that. I know there's some great primers you can use with like odor stopping primers. I like what you're suggesting with scrubbing it off. I've had some clients try it and, you get mixed results. So definitely, if you can give us some advice on cigarette smell, I agree with you. If in other words, what I'm trying to say is, if we had a system to get rid of cigarette smell in like a guaranteed way that worked every single time, 110%, yes, cigarette properties could be great. Yes, and earthquakes. So I wanted to post this video that I did. This camera's too low. I wanted to post some videos that I did about, I actually did a video. I wanted to post it on YouTube, but then I thought it would be too boring about like why I don't buy earthquake insurance. And then I was so upset about the video, I ended up deleting it. So I'm just going to tell you right now the kit and caboodle as far as earthquakes. So if anybody has concern with earthquakes, which, a good amount of people on the West Coast have to deal with this, there's actually a really cool website that you can go to and kind of evaluate your earthquake risk. So let me touch on that really quickly. And let's see if we can find that website again. I like looking at the USGIS, the resources that are there to kind of help you understand what your odds are for having an earthquake. In my opinion, if you have a property built newer than like 1980, totally my opinion, I could be wrong, I'm not so worried about earthquakes. I'm more worried about earthquakes for like 1925 properties, 1890 properties. If you're buying this old crap, I don't want to say old crap, but if you're buying this old stuff and it hasn't been earthquake retrofitted, like the foundation's not bolted, I wouldn't even want to live in it, because there could be an earthquake and the thing just falls off the foundation and it crushes you, right? So those are things to keep in mind. But check out this website here, folks. This is a really, really good resource, Temblor.net. You can punch in an address. It kind of gives you a score based on what your seismic hazards risks are. You know, I know San Francisco will be like a 63, and then they'll evaluate. You put in kind of your criteria here, and they give you a cost to rebuild, and if you'll get an insurance payout, what the odds are of an insurance payout. I did this on all of my properties because they're all newer than 1950. And the odds of me actually getting an insurance payout are like 7%. And that's kind of along the lines of what I thought. Is, you know, I'm not expecting like a 9.0 in this area. I think the max we could be exposed to is like an 8. You know, like Seattle, where I'll be next, in a week, in 2 weeks, I'll be in Seattle doing the crash course. If you want to be there, definitely check it out and join me. But Seattle has like a 7.0 max risk. So I look at that. I look at what's my max risk, and then how new is my building? Because the newer it is, the more it's built for earthquakes. This building right here is a 2008 building. I ain't worried about this. There could be a 9.0. Yeah, this thing's going to get damaged, but not with like a 10 or 20% deductible on those earthquake policies. That's the problem with insurance sometimes is you look at regular fire insurance. It's like $1,000 deductible. There could be an earthquake. Your house could burn down to the ground. And, you know, then the fire insurance covers you for $1,000 deductible. You have an earthquake, no fire, and you have a bunch of earthquake damage, and your property's worth, say, 600 grand. You got to do a 10% deductible. You're paying, you know, 60 to 120 grand in deductibles just to get insurance coverage. You are almost better off just doing the work. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my take on earthquake. So hopefully that helps. You know what I'll do is I'll end up changing the title for this live stream and just say earthquake in the title, since we did talk about that as well. It's the market. So now talk about cigarette smell. JD is in the house and said, we've always just more or less mopped the walls and ceilings. Oh, okay. Interesting. Paint over it, replace the carpet, never notices after. You know what? That might be something to try, because I think you're right. Are you using any kind of like degreaser in that as well? Very, very interesting. Fascinating. Maybe that's what the people were doing wrong, is they were trying to use primers and kind of like covering up the tar, but maybe that's exactly the wrong thing to do. So for mine, analyzing the terms of cap rates, I know the owners were thinking about it, maybe right in the ballpark. Brian. Where's your deal, Brian? Didn't we analyzed yours last time, right? So Brian, I think you're going after those units, right? Let's see. Brian, here we go. Pretty vague comps. You know the owner. This is it. Okay. 5% cap rate, but his needs work. Yeah, and you always want to reference what is going. Oh, yeah, we did the comps on this. So we talked about that a lot in the last live. But anytime you're looking at units, you have to know what's going on in your marketplace. Let's see if I can pull one up. Verona, Westlake Village. There's literally one that just hit the market that's kind of interesting to me. As like a partnership thing. What are they? The Verona, that's it. The Verona Apartments. And this is a good one for all of us to look at, honestly. Westlake Village. Okay. So these are for sale right now. It's 16 units, which, isn't that big, but it's rare to get these larger quality complexes in California. I personally don't like the really old stuff in California, again, because of the earthquakes. But this is a 16 unit, 1990 construction property. And on LoopNet, they're showing this thing as like a 4 cap, which for this area is actually not that bad. I mean, we'd have to verify the obviously the expenses and check out the property and things like that. Here, 4.1 cap is at least the way they're advertising it. But I really like this. I like that it's newer. We talk about in the lecture when we talk units, newer is nice. And Brian, this is kind of along with your note. When you look at units, you're usually not getting a discount on commission. People are not a commission, condition. People are looking at their cap rates, and that's it. It doesn't matter if it's a beat up property or it's like this. I mean, it's not like this is like crazy high end, but for a condo, for a rental unit, this isn't bad. You got those vaulted ceilings, the 2-car garages per unit. Overall, this is a cute development here. You got your on-site manager. Usually you just give them free rent in a case like this. This is just 16 units. But anyway, I like that kind of property. I like if you're looking at units. So suppose the majority of your tenants are government employees and a government shutdown happens and your tenants are unable to pay rent. Do we be flexible with them since the government will eventually reopen? Oh gosh, I mean, that sucks. That is such a hard, I mean, it sucks for them, but they have to pay the late fees. If they're going to be late, they have to pay the late fees. Sometimes what I'll do, it's not my problem. They chose to work for the government. Usually what I'll do is if somebody's going to be late, I'll say, okay, you can be late, but you need to pay me the late fee. You pay me half now, and then the other half on the 15th. But the half now comes with the late fee, and then you're still paying the other half on the 15th. I don't tolerate late payments at all. So awesome, David. Thank you for the Wealthfront referral. Kevin, any chance you need an assistant? Oh, not at the moment, but stay in touch. Things will evolve. Never did it myself, but it seemed to be good. Scrubbing soap and water. I believe that. I believe it. Yeah. So smoke. Hey, you know what? If you can get rid of it, absolutely will be a wedge deal. Totally, because nobody else knows how to get rid of it, or at least the public doesn't know. All right, let's do another one. Not sure if you got to my question from today's lives. I was trying to see if we discussed the potential FEMA flood zone maps updates. Oh, okay, which I'm sure could lead. Oh, an update of the FEMA. Okay, yeah. How does it affect your cash flow? Not sure if it's discussed anywhere. Wanted to know if you could bring it up. That's tough. Responding around, what are we in? We are in, I don't know how many minutes we're in. I don't know. I'm going to guess we're probably 14 minutes in. We lagged out. I'll say 13 minutes in. Okay. So here's the thing. Look, people always ask me, what do you do if the government changes what it's doing, or like new insurance requirements come out or whatever? Sometimes you just have to suck it up, and rather than worry about it, just know that the odds are it's all going to work out. It's probably not going to be as bad as you think. Sometimes when you hear things like, oh, they're going to do statewide rent control, you know what? Fine. Then maybe some other investors will leave the market, and there'll be less competition. In a weird way, you have to have this like economic belief that everything's just going to balance out. If someone is out towards La Mirada, California, and can do all hard money cash, this looks like the perfect wedge opportunity. These homes go for over $625 usually, and I bet you could talk down the price a little bit. Let's take a look at what you got. So new 23 hours ago, $540. Nice. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want me to analyze this. I know you're just kind of sharing it, but yeah, by the looks of it, look, if these things are going for $640, yeah, you could probably pick this up for, oh, that kitchen's actually good. I mean, you got like this mildew behind the refrigerator here, but I wouldn't even touch the kitchen. It's not my choice, but I wouldn't touch it. As far as the bathroom, the carpet, the flooring, that's good. I mean, you're getting like a free kitchen remodel there on this deal. I like that. Yeah, no, that's a good one. Yeah, and if you can get this thing for a lower price, at the I'd probably go 520 or under. I am a little Lemon and Ocean are a little bit of a through street, but I don't think that's that bad. Looks like, Santa, whatever, Gertrude over here or whatever. As well, that's not bad. Okay, all right, I'm not worried about that street. Obviously, I don't particularly know these areas, but I'm giving you as much analysis as I can here. So I like it, and I like that Redfin actually didn't list it as a hot home. So I like that. What type of epoxy acrylic do you recommend for shower wall tiles? I have no idea because I have a guy that does that. So I would ask around. Yeah, I just call it my guy. Bathroom remodel guy. There you go. Hey, this is what I got. Go figure it out. So usually, actually, lately, I've been sending people the Matterport tours, which people really like. I'll show you the one that I'm working on right now, but let's see. Did a spreadsheet for the 4 comps. My realtor did the best. Found out the triplex next door is being rented by my wife's family and a friend. They're renting from families, only charging them $750, and said the rent in the area could easily be more. Also noticed another unit listed, similar size, asking $950. Apparently, several people have been asking how much you'll be renting it for during the rehab. Not sure if it means anything. You know what? To me, it doesn't mean anything. What other people are trying to get in rent. A lot of people overprice their properties. I'm not trying to be negative. I just want you to be conservative. Be careful. Don't buy something because there seem to be a lot of people interested. The last place we rented, I had about 100 people interested, and 2 of them qualified to my standards. It was a lot of work. But I think I'm a little bit extreme with my standards as well for tenants, but I just don't want an eviction, knock on wood. I've never had one, and I'll certainly make a YouTube video if I ever do, but I'm just not interested in I'd rather have a little bit less rent. Look at this, folks. I'm going to show, look at this 3D scan I did yesterday. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably already seen a preview of this. Watch this. This is so cool. Look at this. It took me like 2 hours to scan it, and it was just replying to Instagram DMs. But look, I did the whole outside too. How do I don't know how to move around when I'm on this. Command, no, whatever. Usually, like if I click on a mouse, I could walk around a little bit easier, kind of like hover across the sky. But anyway, look at this. I mean, you could just clearly see the entire before condition of this property. So really fun. Something good little tip for you folks is I'm actually going to probably prop this fence up and replace it. And I think that's something that you have to always say to yourself is like, why are you going to go through and replace this fence if you could prop it up and paint it and it looks fine? Like nobody's sleeping on this. I don't care if there's some termites living in there. I really don't. I just want this to look good. That's all that matters. And if I could get another 5 years out of it, guess what I think to myself? I think 5 more years of this crappy fence, once I paint it and make it look good again, 5 more years means 5 more years I could put all that money into an index fund or probably, honestly, more real estate deals because I just don't put that much money into index funds. And then I, make a return, right? So, but yeah, I mean, this is like the junk that I'm already bringing there. We're still in escrow on the deal. But anyway, we'll do some more reveals on this stuff. But a little thing like that I think is always a good lesson. Is you just have to be careful not to over improve on your rentals. I think people can really get carried away with over improving and they spend too much money. So let's do another deal analysis and then we'll do some more info here in the live chats. We did submit an offer earlier this week and have not heard back yet. My realtor said the best offer to write would be at listing price. Well, really? There are multiple offers. Okay. Sorry, I was getting jaded. But yeah, if there are multiple offers, I mean, like if you want it, you're going to have to compete. So what we talked about your deal starting around, I don't know, like 15, 16 minutes in ish. So, here's the thing, like, yeah, if there are multiple offers, you have to put up to compete, to get the deal. You know what? If it works for you, it sounds like a great deal. If you can get into it, it's in your price range. It's what you're qualified for. You're having trouble finding anything else. I'd rather see you get in than not get in. And especially if you're comfortable with that location, go there. Go to that location at 8 p.m. at night. Go there at 2 a.m. Go there at 8 o'clock in the morning. See what the traffic's like. See what everything's like, and see what you think. See how it feels. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Your feeling will go a long way, because if you don't like the feeling of it, your tenants aren't going to like the feeling of it, and then they're going to leave more, and you're going to have more turnover, and then you're going to be like the guy down the street. Why is he asking $950? Why is it still vacant? Like things should move. It's like, it should be like, oh yeah, he put it up for rent and it was rented the next day. Oh, what do you rent it for? Well, $875. Well, there you go. That's the market rent probably for a qualified person. Just have those thoughts. If all of that checks out, if you're good with those conservative numbers, if you're good with the location, then buy it. Then I'm all for it. I always want to, sometimes I worry I'm too blunt, but I'd rather just give you the negatives and be real with you. And there's always optimism to be had. I mean, overall, I'm optimistic about real estate, so I don't think you can go wrong with real estate in general. Another question here. Jeff says, hey, Kevin, any thoughts on this? It's a newer development, 13 years old. I like that. I like newer. In the best school district. Love that. When am I replying? Does anybody have a timestamp? I'm totally guessing how many minutes I'm in. Hey, Kevin, any thoughts on this? It's a newer development, 13 years old in the best school districts. Rents for 14 to 1,500, 70 days on the market. Would be offering $240,000. Oh, would offering 240K be insulting? Agent is recommending 245 offer to land somewhere around 250. Well, let's see what it's listed for. Responding around. Let's go. Oh, I can look. Oh, look, I could just do that. Okay, negative 1830. Great. 1830. There we go. So let's go ahead and open up Jeff Steele and take a look at this. Let's see if his offer would be insulting. 240 is not insulting at all. No, like 219 would be insulting. 240 is fine. It's totally fine. Yeah, I mean, this is your basic 90s kind of property. You've got this, the carpet is a little dated, but this is nice. I don't mind new construction at all. I personally kind of like new construction or newer construction because there's less that's going to go wrong in the long run, right? So let's see if we can pull some comps on this deal together. Wrong button. There we go. All right. So let's see, 3 and 2, 1318 square feet, built in 05. Oh, come on. That's awesome. I love that. California 05. Great. Let's see where you are. Okay. I'm not familiar with the area. You're pretty close to both border. Oh yeah, okay. There's the Arizona border. Okay. All right. So let's see where your deal was. Let's go back to where it was. Hold on. We got to pull it up again. All right. And let's go ahead and find some comps together. So let's see what we got. We're going to zoom in on this. There we go. And hopefully this zooms us in and we want, okay, good. Here's our neighborhood. This is great. This is perfect. This is what we want. Let's literally take that neighborhood, apply. We've got square footage. We're going to want to go everything. 1750 is a stretch. 1,000. I should really go 1,500, but it's not that big of a neighborhood. So let's see what sales we get. So we got price cut, pre-foreclosure, house for sale, house for sale, house for sale. I need sold. Oh, wait. It probably helps to turn on the sold button. There we go. There are our comps. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Good. So we've got a comp right here at 1,305 square feet. That's good. Here's an upper bound at 1,522 square feet. These are too large. This is better. Too large, too large, too large. You got plenty of comps here. You got comps all day long. Okay, and that's the thing. The number one most important thing is, we'll see you, JD. Thanks for being here. The number one most important thing is square footage. You got to be close on the square footage. So let's look at the two comps. Okay, so here's one. Oh, well, this sold in 2017, and they got 237, which is great because it's 2 years later, and you're talking about writing an offer for 240. Now, the condition of this one, though, this one's nicer, though, right? But that's fine. You got the appreciation time frame there. Here's one from September on the busy road, though. This is not, oh, that's something funky. Okay, that's not related. All right, here's a more recent comp, 1,522 square feet. That's about 200 square feet more. And it's kind of in a similar shape. It's got air conditioning too, which I bet everything has AC out there. Honestly, you're not insulting at all at 240. I mean, you're probably 240 is probably right on the money. Just looking at really hanging my hat on that comp. And what is this? This is a May sale, 1305. This is a different one, right? Because I thought the other one was Feb. What's this? Oh yeah, here's another one. Here's another one that looks just like yours, 255. But this one's your square footage. Okay, and May was a slower market. I'm sorry, Feb was a slower market than May of 2019. 257, couple hundred square feet more. Now that $20,000 square footage difference is gone. You're at 255. This one, and then comparing back to yours. Let's go back to your deal. Yeah, 255, price cut, 4K. Write it at 240. If there's no competition, go in at 240. I would dig in my heels and try to get this thing for 245. Even if you have to go like 244 and at 245, I think 250 is a slam dunk. They'll take your offer all day long. And I think you have a little bit more leverage than you think you do, especially with that price cut going on. Ashley, thank you so much for being a Don't Sue Me Bro member. Appreciate it. Rent to value is higher than it is in California. Should I expect rent increase to not keep in pace with inflation? Did you have any other comment before that? Okay, so rent to home value is higher than it is in California. Should I expect rent not? So let's just go to a bottom line on I think what you're asking. The rent and ownership value doesn't always align perfectly. When the market was closer to the bottom, rents were still relatively high to where you could buy a place with zero money down and have a cash flow. That was insane. Now you put 25% down and maybe you have like $100 cash flow, right? You put 35% down, great, you got a cash flow. So they don't always align as much as you think they would. Inflation, it should. In theory, rent is supposed to move with inflation, but it depends what your rental comps are. So I don't know that you could really tie those together. If it's in my favor, I'll argue it if I'm doing a rent increase with a tenant, though. I'm in the process of finding my first deal, and I can get in with zero money down, but I have around 10K I could spend. My agent told me to just save it for the next deal. Yeah, I mean, they could be right, or just spend the 10K doing paint and carpet, right? Find yourself a wedge deal if you can get no money down, like a VA loan or something like that. What type of floors do you recommend for a long-term investment with a hardwood look? Do you, look, so, no, I don't do the porcelain tile anymore. That's kind of old school now. It was very, very popular for a while. And it's like, oh, this is durable. This is great. It's just too expensive now. So I am a fan of, if you go to the renovations tab where's Kevin's favorite? Kevin's favorite designs tab in Discord, you will find my floor, which I'm pulling up right now, is this luxury vinyl plank. It installs super easily. With contractor pricing, you could usually get this around $2.15 a foot. And it looks great. I love it. It looks like wood. It's easy to install. It's waterproof. It's durable. It's scratch resistant. I love it. So I'm anti the tiling. It's just too much labor. It's too easy to mess up tile these days. It's a mess. Wow, Brian, thank you so much for becoming a member. That's awesome. What types? Okay, we talked about that. Kevin, usually when I'm negotiating a price from a house on the market, the seller always seems firm on price. Any tips on how I can negotiate the price to get a wedge deal? It just depends. If the property's been on the market for a while, then they'll loosen up. If a property just hit the market, yeah, it's usually a lot harder to negotiate. So look, I had a deal, the last one that we just bought, they said they wanted $449 for it and they were expecting multiple offers. I offered them $450 and told them not to do $8,000 worth of work. So it was kind of like a $458 offer. And they're like, yeah, we want $465 and we're not going to do the work. And I'm like so much inside of me is like, F you, I'll go buy something else. And then I had to sit there and go, Kevin, don't be emotional. It happens to me too, okay? I'm like, Kevin, focus, don't get emotional. Do the comps. And then I do the comps and I'm like, whew, at $465, it's still smoking hot deal. So I ended up buying it. Appraisal came in $20K over my purchase price. Props to you. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I don't mind reviewing your homeowner's insurance. I'm not an insurance agent. Just post it. I want to know if I'm missing any coverage I should have in Florida. Oh, that's not good. Non-flood zone. Yeah, post it. I have some catching up that I have to do. I know that. Sorry, my phone fell. Looks like it still works. My Face ID has stopped working for some reason on my phone. Not sure why. All right. So when do you suggest to sell a house? I had a house for 3 years and its value has gone up 100K. I was thinking about selling to reinvest in other real estate. I mean, what I would do before you consider selling, and what's the value of this, Iggy? But what I would really do before considering selling is I would reach out to some local lenders and say, hey, what can I refinance this for? And am I still going to have a cash flow? Because right now you could get about 4.5%, a 4.5% rate on 30-year fixed rate money on a rental property. That's dirt freaking cheap money. And it's a tax write-off because it's a rental property. Obviously confirm with a CPA, but I really like it. Yeah. And by the way, folks, I still have to go through the phone calls. So I don't want anybody to feel like they're left out. It's been a little overwhelmed the last few days with this new deal here, but I still want to do some phone calls with y'all. Submitting our all cash offer tomorrow for the wedge deal you analyzed on Thursday in Daly City. Any last minute tips to score the deal? Write a letter. You could write a letter, but seriously, it's all going to come down to price. So your agent really needs to be the last person on the phone with the listing agent to get the best insight. Kevin, what's my go-to source to get an idea of what rental rates are in the area? I mean, usually property managers are a good source. Zillow, you can look at active rental comps. You could look on Zillow and Craigslist to see what other things are actively renting for. Follow the comp lectures to understand kind of how to compare. And remember, you're going to know if you're overpriced. So here's how that works. You price a place at, I'm going to give you an example because it's real to me right now. You price a place at $3,300 and you get, 50 people calling you, but literally all of those 50 people have crappy qualifications. They don't follow, if you haven't seen the 2 landlord videos I posted in the last week on YouTube, watch those as well. Obviously, we have a lot of that info in the course lectures, but watch that Pacific Heights one too. That was really good. You guys should all see that. I got the clips in there and everything. Anyway, look that up on YouTube, but and watch the courses on property management. But if you have nothing but crap applicants, you got 50 of them, your price too high. And at that point, you just look and say, okay, well, I guess we'll drop the price $100. And then all the other people are like, wait, but I want it. Sorry, you don't qualify. But I'll pay more. I don't care. You say you'll pay more, but you probably won't because you won't qualify. Again, look, I'm jaded. I want to be. I get extreme with tenants, just because they could really make your life miserable. So, all right, we got Sweet Daddy Dev. Hey, it's Barrows. That house is a trash can. Maybe you can help me with this one instead. Staten Island. Let's see it today. And it is, how many minutes are we in? We are, wow, look at that. Even 30 minutes in. Okay. 30 men into live stream today. All right. Staten Island. Comps are so hard in New York. They're so hard to do for me because I just don't know the area that well, and it's so diverse. So 1140, 379.9. It's a 3 1.5 bath. This looks a little older. How old is this? 60. Oh, that's not bad. 65, Staten Island. That's not bad. I'm okay with that. Yeah, you are an attached unit. Love the condition on the inside. I really like this. This is paint and flooring right now. That looks scary, but it's just drywall. They've already done the patching for you. That's not bad. Yeah, they patched it for you. That's great. They put in new drywall. I mean, the toilet's gotta go. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know the area. I mean, I like the look of it. See if it's got galvanized plumbing. Have they done dual pane windows? What about the electrical panel? Have they upgraded these things? They didn't say anything. Semi-attached single-family house. Okay, whatever. So you run the comps, you only look at properties that are also attached. Very, very, very important. It's easy to look at other single families and go, oh, it's a wedge deal. Yeah, but it's got to be like for like, you know? So where are we? I think we're right here. There we are. Okay, cool. Is that where we are? Yeah, 380. That looks right. There it is. Oh, this is cool. You got some space back here. Awesome. Let's see what we got in the neighborhood over here. Apply, and then I'm really going to squeeze this square footage here. It's so dense. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's see what we got. Here's a newer version of what you got going on. Then here's yours. I like that this newer one is like $100,000 more, and it's a 2-bedroom, but it's got another half bath. What is that? I can't tell what that is. That looks good. Wow, what's that? That's a really good looking one. What is this? That does not look so good. Here's another attached comp. Actually, honestly, this is what we want. We want these. Oh yeah, there are plenty of them right here. Just do these. Just look at these comps. Let me close out the comps here. Just redo that. Because look, I mean, like, I got plenty right next door. Why do I have to walk anywhere? You know what I mean? Look at that. A 2019, July 22nd, 2019 comp. What more do I want? It's perfect. So these are a little older. All right, let's look at that particular one. I always say that because the last thing you want is to walk and then you have something unrelated. So let's look at what this is. This has an extra half bath. It's 1,230 square feet. Your deal is here, 344. Yours is 379.9, 1,140 square feet. This place it's like 40 square feet more. Great. And look, it's remodeled. This is it. This is a great comp. They got the IKEA kitchen. They got the updated flooring. They got the updated bathrooms. It's the same square footage. Yeah, it's got another half bath. It's got a cute backyard. It's on the same street. It's your neighbor. It's got can lighting. This is perfect. This is a great deal. Look at that. $510,000, July 22nd. You could not ask for a better comp. And you got a dump opportunity here for $379. I mean, that's like the definition of a wedge almost. Especially, I mean, if there are no multiple offers on this, if there aren't multiple offers on this, you could probably go aggressive on this. So I like it. I mean, good for you. That's good. What's up, Eric? All right, my parents have 2 paid off properties outside of town, about an hour away. They're thinking of giving me one of the properties. Do you suggest I pull a HELOC or cash out refinance to down on the property? You mean like you pull out? Well, your parents are thinking of giving you one. Okay. They're thinking of giving. Okay, so here's the thing. Let me say this: talk to your CPA before you take property from your parents, because you then become subject to gift taxes. And this sounds morbid, but there are. I can't believe I'm saying this. There are really good tax advantages when you inherit property. You lose that if you get the property before, okay? So talk to your CPA because that could be a huge tax implication for you. Yeah, okay. I said enough. All right. Sheldon says, got info from the lawsuit on the I think that was on the HOA, right? Realtor forwarded me the message somewhere along the line saying that a tenant was suing the HOA because they tripped on a coconut. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm like in tears. I mean, like, I feel bad for the person, but that's okay. Can you send me that lawsuit? That's hilarious. Please email me that lawsuit, okay? Kevin@meetkevin.com. I got to make a video about that. That is so freaking hilarious. Oh, please send me that, okay? All right. I just got the appraisal report back. Appraiser came in with 349. Comps in the area were running around 365. That's fine. That's primarily due to the property's condition. That's fine. What did you get it for? Because as long as you're in escrow for at least 349, you're fine. 675. These appraisals are getting so expensive. This is Hawaii though. Contract price is 345. Your appraisal came in above contract. Don't even worry about it, man. I remember this deal. Yeah, who cares? Like, you're fine. You know what you could honestly do right now is you could go to your lender and go, hey, and you could do this. Watch this. You go to the lender and go, hey, let's bump the purchase price, and you have to get the deal with the seller too. Let's bump the purchase price to $349.9 and then give me $4,900 back, or just give me $4,500 back and let the sellers have $400. Give them a little bit of a concession. Relevant comps, blah 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 blah. This is great, man. I mean, you don't even have to read this crap. This is perfect. Good for you. Don't let that define. Watch the lectures on appraisals. And definitely send me that lawsuit. Any thoughts on how any thoughts? Oh, okay. Any thoughts on Grant Cardone broadcasting, proclaiming how wonderful investing with him is for his advertised 5 to 6% cash on cash return? I mean, look. Here's the thing. When you do a real estate fund, look, I talked about this earlier. Look at this deal. If I want to do a partnership with you folks on this deal, this apartment deal, this could be 100 units, this could be 200 units, or it's 16, which is what it is. It's not a big deal, but it's a $9 million property, okay? It's a Westlake Village, California. If I want to do a partnership with you on this deal, we're not getting a wedge deal. Like, straight up, we are not getting a wedge deal. We are buying it to get a California property and have something where we're getting our 4% cap rate and we're betting on appreciation. It's called betting on the come. You're betting on the market to come up in value. That's it. That's all you're doing. And it's great as a syndicator because think about it. If I partner with all of you on this, we do this $9 million deal, I take a management fee, and then in 10 years, we sell it for, $13 million. Everybody gets their profit. You split it with the promoter and everybody else, and it works out. Everybody's happy. In my opinion, I mean, that's great. In my opinion, as an individual, you can make a lot more money if you're willing to put the time in and do your deals, at least when you're getting started, by finding these wedge deals, because here you're paying market value and then you're getting your 4 or 5, 6%. Again, that's fine if you want to do that way. On the flip side, if you buy wedge deals, you're now getting experienced in real estate. You're understanding how to build a net worth fast yourself. You become an accredited investor. Do this for 10 years, then go do the apartment deals, right? You can always do that. That's my POV for getting started. But no, there's nothing unless there's some skeletons in the closet that I don't know about with the Cardone cap. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's just like any other syndication. So got it for 345. Yeah, perfect. That's all. You're in Calabasas. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I don't know. Maybe I have to get motivated. I'd probably go visit it and get motivated on it. All right. Anyway, since you mentioned David, probably tomorrow for the video on cabinets. Since you mentioned galvanized plumbing, I own a long-term rental built in 1940 that you helped me analyze. I'm wondering now if I should replace the piping to a material. Look, the last wedge deal we did, I didn't replace it. Just wait until it leaks. And I mean, that sounds terrible, but look, the bottom line is if your pipes burst and the property floods, guess who pays for it? The insurance company, okay? Like, That's not shady. That's not illegal. Like, look, if it all works right now, they're insuring the property. If it leaks, that's what insurance is there for. If it doesn't leak, great, milk it. I'm not going to pay the $6,000. If it slowly starts causing small leaks and problems, that's when I'd start considering replacing it myself. Christian Ball says, after my renovation of my house, I'm looking to refinance to have no more PMI in my rate. How do I know if my house is ready to show the bank has increased in value so much? Check with, so let me say, check live around 40 minutes in today. Let's talk about that. So how do you know when you're ready to remove mortgage insurance? You want to talk to your realtor to see what the values are and what the comps are, and you want to talk to your lender to see if you can qualify for that refinance and that higher amount. Yeah, and so Jacob here says they usually require you to be in there for 2 years. This is true, unless you're refinancing. You get a brand new loan, it won't matter. Permits always a good idea. Yeah, I mean, permits are great for avoiding liability. And they're really not that difficult in many areas. You're so right. Especially, if you're doing minor stuff, get the permit. But you're adding claiming extra. Yeah, adding a bedroom, I'm not a big fan of. Adding a bedroom, adding a bathroom, not super fun. Let's see. Okay. What else do we got going on here? So, yeah, and the other thing, folks, if you ever have questions about, I got to write that, the countertops. If you ever have questions about permits, just go to the building and safety department and ask them. You don't have to don't give them the address. Don't do the mistakes I've made before where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm calling about this property. I've got some questions. Oh, there's an illegal add-on? Tell us more. You don't want to do that. So don't give them the address. Countertops are, okay. So somebody wants to know what countertops I use. I use Quartz Sparkly White. I just posted that in my favorite renovation stuff. Sent to Barbara County. The permitting desk is very easy to talk to, and we'll be able to answer your questions via phone. Allow 48 hours for a callback. Yeah, there you go. I'm looking at a mid-range vinyl plank. Okay. I look at mid-range luxury vinyl plank for my rental, but every time I see a lot of reviews with pictures showing scratches or even the floor having furniture marks due to weight. Okay, like Charles, let's talk about this. Charles, and cash out refinance does not require the 2 years, and no, you only have to agree to live there for 1 year. Check 42 minutes. Okay, so Charles, look, you're not wrong, okay? Like luxury vinyl plank is not, it's not a luxury product, okay? It's rental grade, lower end. My thing is, I'm not looking for something to last 20, 30 years because it's going to go out of style. And these things I can quickly pop up and throw new crap down, if necessary. But what I'm going to do in the meantime, and this is where you want to get to, is you document your properties very well. And if the tenants screw up the flooring because they scratch it, well, then they're responsible for repairing it. And then you take the money and then go fix it. We had a plumber scratch some of our luxury vinyl plank because they dragged a stove that had some like rocks under it across the floor. And I'm like, oh, well, of course, like a 400-pound stove is going to do that, or it's not that expensive or heavy, but however much they weigh, but then they're responsible for that. Right. So things to know. Okay. It was really, Charles, that's funny, because I did the same thing. I did the key test and I could not get it scratched or the finish removed. So, maybe you went a little bit more aggressively than I did. So BG, just an update on the tree close to the house. If anyone is dealing with the issue, it's a jacaranda, and the tree guys tells me it's $1,200 for full removal. Yeah, a lot of people just leave the stump, honestly, because grinding the stump is expensive. Exactly. Yeah, JD, you're so right. So, all right. Okay, cool. Great questions here. Awesome. Let's see what else we got. Tenants. I love tenants. Yeah, definitely watch the Wannabe Landlords video. Seriously. The last 2 videos on landlords, really, really good. Yep. Okay. So what other question we have here? Is it wise to work with an acquisition group to find off-market properties, or do you prefer finding them yourselves? Look, I'm all for anything. Anywhere you can get deals, do it. Let's look at let's read Parth's situation. Reading around, what are we in? 43 4430 in. Okay, Parth. Let's look at his situation, and I'll screen share it in case you want to read along. There. Oh, doesn't that look cool how it kind of goes behind me? Hello, everyone. So I just wanted to share an experience I had with a tenant in Texas. Last year was my senior year of college. I had a house that I was living in, renting out the 3 other rooms to students. Good for you. I had an issue with one of the guys who had 2 months remaining on the lease. He did not pay utilities for the month of June. He paid rent, and he didn't pay rent or utilities for July. So I had to start evicting him. The problem was that I had not seen or heard from him since early June. So here is where I realized the things I had messed up on. I had not asked for a social security number or driver's license. I did have the lease guaranteed by his mother, but had no contact info or ID on her either. I did not run a credit check on either of those because my guy was referred to by a friend. So obviously, everybody listening to me say this, we all know to do the opposite. So we're not going to bag on Parth here. We all make mistakes. We've watched my latest landlord videos. Anyway, I knew the friend who referred him was very credit worthy and always paid his rent on time, so I made the mistake of assuming the referred tenant must be the same. Big mistake. I had to send certified notice to my own house because it was the only address I had on file for him. Then I had to go to set a court date to proceed with the eviction, but I was now on a time crunch because my next tenant was set to move in at the start of August, so I would need the premise vacated ASAP. I had to place an immediate possession bond of $1,000. Wow, during the eviction process, I would lose if the defendant showed up to the hearing, which he ended up not. Managed to get a hearing date in the nick of time, and then you were able to evict, it looks like. Wow. There's a website database they asked me to go on and print out the records so I could bring problems. That's unfortunate. You learned a lot during that experience. That's unfortunate that you had to go through that, seriously. Yeah, guys. Tenants can make your life miserable. So you really want to be careful with how you screen. So, oh yeah, I'll definitely be doing more noob versus pro stuff. Hey, super noob to Discord and YouTube Live. Where can I reference these questions Kevin is replying to? Oh, okay. Here, let me show you. So orange truck, I'll just show all of you. What I do is I jump around. So I'll just show you my screen like right now here, the whole thing. So here's my chat. Here's me, which this is going to look funny because you're going to see 2 of me for a second. And then this is Discord. So you want to be in the investing Discord, the real estate investing Discord chat. And then, I kind of just go down these. I always start with deal analysis, and we'll analyze deals, talk about it, escrows and renovations and tenants, kind of go through and just, these are good places to discuss or why you're not investing. This is good because it gives me ideas for videos, financing in general. We'll go over here and we'll kind of see, we talked about the rate cut this morning. We talked, what do I think about this all-in-one loan? You can get a HELOC in one step. You could do that. I've done that before, though. That's not a bad idea. Oh, let me put me back on screen here. I have an FHA loan that's 10 years old at 5.5%. Should I refinance to conventional? Yes, you should. Also, the house needs a new roof and windows. Should I take out? Don't be so anxious to do those upgrades. Like, the last thing you want to do is go, oh, I'm getting so much money. I'm getting all this money to refinance. And then you go spend 20 grand on roof and windows. I don't know if it's necessary. These other Discords, the I'm Over It tour was from the crash course I did in Florida. Couriers, I don't know. Oh, that's because I was stalking Amazon Flex people. That was, I'm sorry. The I'm Over It tour is the crash course, which you could see me on the crash courses that we have. We have a bunch of them, right? We got Seattle, Austin, Miami, San Francisco, all that stuff coming up. So you could see me on that stuff. Then we've got, what do I got? I don't know, Intelligent Money Investor. I don't know who this is. Another newer YouTuber. I'm barely on here, honestly. Like on these other channels. It's the real estate agent sales one and real estate investing are the big ones. Ricky's day trading, learn, plan, profit. I'm just not a day trader. That's just not me. But I always kind of like seeing how other people do things. So, yeah. What else do we have? Anything else we could say? Can submitting low offers regularly tarnish an agent's reputation? Yeah. It can. You don't want to be the agent that's always known as lowballing. So, Jeff, I think you're here. Do I have to tag you? Answered around, I think we're around 50 men in live today. Wondering that too. Yeah, exactly. Sounds like there's a seller. What? Sounds like there's a seller suing somebody. Nobody wants to hear that. Yeah, okay. So I might have to circle back to these. But anyway, let's see what other questions we have here in the live. And then I think I'm pretty much talked out. So, any plans on doing meetup groups in Ventura, LA? There is an LA crash course scheduled for next year, so check that out. And hey, Kevin, sorry for the delay, but was wondering from your previous response, what is the goal strategy to change my loan from? Okay, so the reason you might consider raising the price and then raising your loan and then getting money back is it puts more money in your pocket. You're basically financing $4,000, say $500 at whatever 4% or whatever for 30 years, and now you have $4,500 more in your pocket rather than that you have to come out of pocket. Just help offset some of your closing costs. So yeah, okay, cool. Thank you, folks, for being here. I think that was fun. I like this. We didn't crash. This is good. The separate computer streaming appears to be what has solved the problem. So appreciate you all being here. Good stream. Thank you again. We will see you next time, which will be Tuesday. As always, feel free to post in the Discord. And folks, thank you very much. And until next time. So now I see the only problem now to end the live stream is I have to put this guy up. And then I have to press this button. And then I have to walk over to the other computer. So you get to stare at this guy's face for a bit. Anyway, we'll see y'all. Thanks. Oh, but I have to log into the other computer. All right. I'm executing, and don't trip on code.